For more on this, I am now joined by Taha Meli Arvas. He is an adjunct professor of finance at Boğaziçi University and the former vice chair of the Capital Markets Board of Turkey. Thank you so much for joining us here on the program. Now, the world has changed dramatically in the past 2 years, especially economically, and we're seeing high inflation across the globe and more people being pushed into poverty. In light of this, is Davos and the World Economic Forum relevant anymore?
I can't say it's not at all relevant anymore. Obviously, the pandemic has switched everyone into a period where everyone is on Zoom or they're on Skype or they're on some type of meeting, a conference thing. That's become the norm. So is it necessary for everyone to get together? Yes and no. I think obviously there's something to be said for global leaders to be coming together and discussing, having frank discussions as opposed to on the record stuff, which is generally what happens when you have these type of online conferences. But at the same juncture, it's difficult to travel. Obviously, borders are closed down, so the relevancy has diminished considerably since its heyday, probably 20 years ago, of Davos. Mm-hmm. But like I said, it's a waning novelty. Let's put it that way.
Right now, this Oxfam report tells us that 10 of the richest men in the world doubled their fortunes, while most people around the world have had financial struggles during the pandemic. What does this tell us about the inequality and imbalance the world is facing right now?
Sure. I think the one clear indictment is the policymakers that normally attend these Davos meetings largely failed incredibly across the board at helping decrease the effects of the pandemic on the regular citizens. And so inequality, as opposed to, the whole point of Davos, or one of the points of Davos, has been for many years to try and stop or slow the rise of income inequality, but the exact opposite is happening. So it's nice to have great sound bites. It's nice to talk about climate change and decreasing income inequality, but really very little has been done to do either, as we can see. So in that respect, Davos is unfortunately not passing the grade here. Mm-hmm.
Are there any practical solutions to bringing some sort of balance to different socioeconomic classes?
Sure. There are a lot of people who have a lot of. Just the Oxfam executive director there in your piece a second ago said, if we increase taxes on only the amount of money that these top 10 individuals have made during the pandemic, we could, vaccinate everyone. We could give health care to everyone. Just ridiculous amounts of money have been made during the pandemic. So there are practical applications, but the problem is policymakers in general are elected. People need money to get elected, and money in politics, unfortunately, which is a big part of Davos. Politicians and the ruling class getting together doesn't bode well for practical solutions to decreasing income inequality, unfortunately, because obviously many of them have a vested interest in it continuing.
All right, Taha Meli Arvas, thank you so much for joining us here on the NewsHour and sharing that analysis with us.